Back-to-back series releases isn't their problem. Back-to-back game releases the next 48 hours. Where do we even begin? You know, part of me just wants everybody to take a victory lap just for the sheer catharsis of watching this giant finally stumble, especially after months of people insisting that everything was just fine. You'd see people swearing online that Black Ops 7 is secretly one of the biggest game releases this year, and nearly every media outlet has been bending over backwards trying to avoid saying the obvious, probably trying to protect these guys from layoffs. But yeah, I'm sure a 60% drop between the launch of Black Ops 6 and Black Ops 7 paired with a matching 61% collapse in physical sales means absolutely nothing. Totally normal, especially when Battlefield 6 suffered none of those problems, broke its own records, and had the strongest first month sale of any game in the US in the last 3 years. Oh, and now we have a prominent and relatively reliable Call of Duty leaker reporting that Microsoft believes that Black Ops 7 is a good game, but its financial performance is still below expectations, even with reduced expectations set after Black Ops 6 fell off a cliff, with Microsoft now demanding smoother revenue, lower spending, and even considering studio mergers and a complete overhaul of their monetization. Can't think of anything better for a franchise than becoming the financial keystone for one of the biggest publishers on the planet. I don't understand why anyone feels the need to pretend that Black Ops 7 is a success or rush to defend it. Any pressure on these companies is only going to lead to a better product for everyone. Protecting, deflecting, gaslighting, all it's going to do is encourage these companies to continue under-delivering. Being critical is how we get better games, and the weakening sales of Black Ops 7 already proves it. Activision themselves have already stepped forward and admitted that the game isn't meeting their expectations, and now
The Grand Theft Auto online community is one of the largest in the gaming industry and has been thriving and constantly growing since the release of Grand Theft Auto 4 on the 29th of April 2008. Because of the Goliath that the GTA online community is, there is so much that has been forgotten that none of the notable Grand Theft Auto fan accounts such as the GTA Network are aware of their existence. This isn't about secret glitch or a quick way to become a millionaire in GTA Online. This is something that goes much deeper and darker. This is something that has impacted many players and has stuck with them for the rest of their lives, including myself. Through the echoes and shadows of the distant Grand Theft Auto 4 online lobbies, there is a name heard by few but known by so many. This is the story of the most infamous Grand Theft Auto player. This has been a 7-month investigation, and we've collected so much information from scouring the internet to bring you this story. For this story to be told and understood fully, we need to go back to the year 2011. 2011 was the first full year that I ever experienced multiplayer games for the first time. I loved playing online games such as Halo Reach, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and most importantly, GTA 4. Before I had Xbox Live, I would play Grand Theft Auto 4's story mode every single day on my Xbox 360. I was hooked on GTA 4 ever since its release on the 29th of April 2008 because I had everything I had ever wanted from a game during that time. Nico Bellic, Liberty City, the vast unique cast of characters, the iconic radio stations, the missions, and everything else this game had and did was perfect. So when I first got Xbox Live on my Xbox 360, the first thing I did was boot up GTA 4's multiplayer. Playing GTA 4's multiplayer changed the way I looked at gaming forever. I was in awe that you could explore Liberty City and do whatever you wanted with other people playing the game online too. I mainly played GTA 4's free mode and party mode, and this is how I met my very first online friends, Erifos and Ultracloth, who I still speak and play with to this day. Then, one day, everything changed. During one day in 2011, me, Erifos, and Ultracloth booted up GTA 4 on the Xbox 360 and hopped into a random free mode session. What we did not know about this particular GTA 4 free mode session was that it was going to be remembered for the rest of our lives. This is how we met the most infamous GTA player. Now, before we proceed any further, I wish to make it very clear that I, myself, do not condone the abusive language used by this individual. I find it completely unacceptable and repulsive. So, with that now being said, let us continue. We spawned onto Star Junction, Liberty City, during the evening, and it's pouring down with rain. Our plan is simple: to drive around the city and to take down other players. The first point of call was to meet up and steal a car, in which we were successful. As we drove out of Star Junction, talking to each other while driving around the city, this was the moment we saw the name appear that has lingered with so many for the rest of their lives. In capitalized orange font, the name appeared in the top left hand corner: Ballies. Ballies had joined our free mode session. We thought nothing of this and just saw it as another player joining the free mode session. We continued to drive around Liberty City in search of players to take down. That was when our normal day on GTA 4 changed for the worse. Aerofos received an Xbox voice message from the player who joined our free mode session: Ballies.
I'm winning this death match. I've gone all the fun. I've been in here now well over 3 hours. Not one of you got a shot at me. If you fancy a challenge, start whacking granddad off and get over here.
Disturbed by this, Aerofos shared the voice message to Ultracloth and I. We were just as disturbed by the abusive, repulsive language that Aerofos had received from Ballies. However, Ballies had challenged Aerofos to come after them. So, as a team, we took it upon ourselves to accept Ballies' challenge and head to his position on the map. He was located at the apartment blocks in Northwood, Algonquin, a rundown area in Liberty City and a perfect location for any players wishing to battle. As we were approaching Ballies' position, we saw many other players heading to his location too. We now knew that Ballies had sent the same voice message to these other players too, challenging the entire free mode session to take him down. Many players arrived at the location but were immediately killed by Ballies, which was indicated by the several death notifications being displayed in game. He was taken down player after player without dying, and we were all getting a little bit worried about whether or not we could overcome this challenge set by Ballies. We arrived at the apartment blocks in Northwood, and the three of us left the vehicle. Ballies was hiding inside one of the apartment blocks, which meant we had to go through the front door. Now, these apartment blocks were a little bit tricky to navigate because they have multiple floors with different rooms on each floor, and Ballies could be in any one of them. Aerofos decided to enter first. He entered through the doors with full health, body armor equipped, and carrying a fully loaded carbine rifle ready for what lay ahead. Ultracloth and I waited outside in the rain. Aerofos took cover on the wall leading up the first set of stairs, taking caution, not knowing which floor Ballies could be on. It was silent inside the apartment block. Too silent. Aerofos took a deep breath and decided to head up the stairs. Aerofos came out of cover, slowly beginning to walk the stairs with his carbine rifle aimed at the top. Aerofos peeked at the top of the stairs, and suddenly he was there, waiting. Ballies was equipped with an RPG that was directly pointing at Aerofos. There was a moment of duality between the two. Before Aerofos could fire his rifle, Ballies fired the RPG at him down the staircase, instantly killing him. As Aerofos' body fell to the bottom of the stairs, in flames, Ballies yelled through his microphone,
"Headshot right between the eyes."
words that Aerofos will never forget. Seeing our friend get killed by Ballies, me and Ultracloth rushed in to exact revenge, but again fell victims to Ballies' strategic RPG attacks. Before we could all head back to the apartment block, Ballies took down several other players in the free mode session, and then suddenly left. We were stunned and confused by the characteristics of this particular GTA Online player named Ballies. Our younger selves wanted payback for him killing all of us, so we wanted to take the fight to wherever Ballies had gone. So we viewed his Xbox Live profile where we could join his session. Before joining his session, we took a look at his Xbox Live profile with his bio reading, "I run GTA easily." Then the rest of it reading, "I've got all the points. I win all these death matches. No one can kill me. I cannot be killed. Have fun trying to kill me, noobs. I haven't died on GTA since the 27th of March 2009. We found this amusing. We had come across an Xbox Live player with the sole objective of killing people on GTA 4 Online and proving to be the best, while also claiming he had not been killed since the 27th of March 2009. We wanted to put an end to his killing spree, so eager to take down Ballies and prove him wrong, we joined his GTA 4 free mode session. Unfortunately, the session was full and we could not join, so we gave up and jumped into another free mode session. This was the first and last time we were ever in the same free mode session as Ballies. However, the story continues 12 years later, December 2022. Erifos, Ultracloth and I were in a Discord session one evening, reminiscing about the good old times playing GTA 4 when we were much younger. Our topic of conversation led to us bringing up our experience with Ballies, the GTA 4 player on Xbox Live obsessed with being the best, and sending explicit, vulgar voice messages to everyone in the free mode session. Out of curiosity, Erifos wanted to know if anyone else had encountered Ballies or to see if he had a YouTube channel, so he performed a YouTube search on the name Ballies. The search results were shocking.
I'm winning this death match. I've got all the points. I've been in here now well over 3 hours. Not one of you has got a shot on me. If you fancy a challenge, stop f***ing granddad off and get over it.
Listen, you I'm talking to you, you f***ing Get your dad guy and stop f***ing your granddad off, you f***ing you.
Right, listen to me, you f***ing dirty little I'm winning this death match. I've got all the points.
Fancy a challenge, get over here, and I'll f*** all over you and your fella.
Been in here now 3 hours. Not one of you has got a shot on me.
Several positive video results had been displayed from different YouTube accounts, all titled Ballies GTA 4, dating back 11 years ago. We watched each video and with a deep shock, it was him. It was Ballies. Each video we watched had footage of people recording their screens and listening to the abusive Xbox Live voice messages that Ballies would send to players in his GTA 4 free mode session. From this we understood that Ballies was something much bigger than we could grasp. Collectively, we were astonished that other people had encountered Ballies on GTA 4 and had footage of his voice messages which confirmed his existence. However, every single one of these videos that we had come across were dated 11 years ago and only had a few hundred views. There had been nothing else uploaded over the last 11 years. This was when, as a team, we wanted to uncover and find out more about who the most infamous GTA player was. We were compelled and wanted to know if it was all a character and if he was still doing this on GTA 5 or possibly other games. So our investigation for Ballies began. The team consisted of me and my two moderators, Erifos and Ultracloth. Our first port of call to find out more about Ballies and to see if anyone else had encountered him was by conducting a search on the GTA network, which consists of the GTA Net and GTA forums. The GTA network originated back in 2001 and is one of the oldest GTA communities and the leading fan site for the blockbuster GTA and Red Dead series. Expecting to find an easy lead or a crumb about Ballies on this site, we found nothing. Yes, that's right, zero. There were no records of Ballies ever existing. We all highly believed that there had to be something on the GTA network about Ballies, but there wasn't, so our hopes to find out more about him was slightly diminished. But we did not give up, and we were adamant to find out more about Ballies. We decided as a team to split up and individually chose to search different parts of the internet to find Ballies. Our new approach worked. We made our first successful discovery. Our first lead was Twitter. Through the mass amount of tweets we surfed through, we finally found multiple tweets talking about the close-to-be myth, Ballies. All of these tweets were from 11 years ago, and there had been no mention of them since. We contacted 2 individuals through Twitter who had tweeted about Ballies 11 years ago to learn more about their encounters with Ballies. We, as a team, were stunned. Both of them provided the exact same statement that Ballies was the player who would sit waiting with an RPG in the apartment blocks in Northwood, Algonquin, challenging other players in his session to take him down. Rodabs on Twitter provided us with a great amount of detail about his experience with Ballies.
I vividly remember Ballies. Myself and a friend would rarely see through his game and terrorize him. The guy would spend half an hour getting armor and ammo in free mode, would sit inside buildings, send voice messages, and antagonize the whole lobby, then holding out in this building for as long as he could.
Rodabs shared an image of the location where he would find Ballies located in a free mode session, which was the exact same location where we had encountered him. Rodab went on to say,
Myself and my friend would always try and kill him, and then afterwards he would go offline for days at a time. There are voice messages you can find on YouTube that people have uploaded, although a lot of them are horrifically racist. Not once did I see this man out of character. I think he existed to torture the GTA 4 population, and himself to some degree. He got banned before the release of GTA 5, and I never heard from him again, but it is a story that I tell my current friends. One time, my friend found him camping in that building I sent you. There are like 20 floors, but one was more open plan than the rest. My friend shot an RPG at the corner of the ceiling on the floor below it, and it went through and killed him. He went offline for like a week after that.
Rodabs was incredibly helpful with our investigation. We learned new important information that Ballies was banned from Xbox Live around 2013, before the release of GTA 5, and Rodabs also claims that his friend had killed Ballies, where he would then proceed to go offline for a week. Claim to have killed this infamous GTA 4 player is a feat, but we could only take their word for it, as there was no actual strong evidence. So with our first solid find, as a team we were motivated than ever to continue our investigation. We then took to Reddit to see if we could discover more about Ballies. We put a post out on the GTA 4 subreddit titled "In Search of the Forgotten Infamous GTA 4 Player, Ballies," which provided a summary on who Ballies was and that we wished to find out more about him as part of this documentary we were making. The responses from people on Reddit were saying how amazed they were by this story and could only provide us with good luck in our search, because no one else had encountered him. Unfortunately, the Reddit post started to age and we didn't get what we wanted. That was only until we got a response from Louisius on our Reddit post. Louisius provided his story about his encounter with Ballies.
Ballies was an inside joke between me and my friends over 10 years ago when we were teenagers, and we still laugh about him and quote him word for word now as full-grown adults. Absolute GTA legend. Some of the videos of his messages on YouTube were uploaded by my best friend. Just as he said, he would camp at the top of the staircase at the tower blocks with an RPG. We'd always accept the challenge of killing him and succeeded a few times. Each time he got killed, he'd leave the lobby and find a new one to do the same thing over and over again. I still have him as a friend on Xbox. His original Gears of War profile picture still sends shivers down my spine when I see it. Sadly, his constant verbal abuse caught up with him while in his prime, and his account was fully suspended from live. I've always had this image in my head that he was a Charles Bronson-looking character in real life. I hope you find out more about him. Good luck.
The stories about Ballies still continued to remain true, and all the exact same. The fact that this profile picture alone would send shivers up Louisius' back speaks volumes on Ballies as a character. Was Ballies this player who had the sole purpose of wanting to taunt other players in his free mode sessions just so he could take them down with an RPG? Remarkably, another player had claimed to have killed Ballies, and not just once, but multiple times. Could it be that Ballies had been defeated and in fact is not the best GTA player to have ever lived? With his Xbox account banned and us checking nearly everywhere we could, we almost had given up. Was Ballies just going to be a distant name that lies to rest in the age-old realms of the GTA 4 free mode sessions and nothing else? We knew we could not stop there, so our investigation continued. Now, we were stumped for ideas, like really stumped. Ballies could still be out there, and at this point, we wanted to find him. That was when Erifos had a light bulb moment, and when we started to make some important developments with our investigation. The Rockstar Games Social Club. Erifos thought this was our last best chance at attempting to find him. By using the Rockstar Games Social Club, we could see if there was a crew that Ballies had made for GTA 5 Online. We searched for the name Ballies using the Rockstar Games Social Club and hit search. It was a success, and this was our breakthrough. What we uncovered was our greatest find yet. But this is when things started to get really weird. The Ballies Brethren, a crew on the Rockstar Games Social Club dedicated to Ballies. The Ballies Brethren has over 190 members, with the bio reading, winning the game, got all the points, and nobody can kill him. The Ballies Brethren crew logo resembles the face of a bald man with a goatee. Could this be him? Could this be what Ballies actually looks like? The face looking similar to the individual, Charles Bronson, which Lewis described to us in his response to our Reddit post. We were blown away to see that Ballies had a significant number of followers dedicated to his cause, with more players actively joining his crew to this day. We all started to feel a little bit more comfortable now about what we'd found. We were close to actually calling it off because we did not know how far this went now. But after finding the Ballies Brethren, the team immediately went to see who the leader was. This was it. This could give us the new username now used by the most infamous GTA player, Ballies. We revealed who the leader was, and unfortunately, the leader was not Ballies, and instead, an individual being past 37 was the leader. Lost out of ideas, out of curiosity, we revealed who was second in command of this crew. It was there, the name we had been searching for after so long, the infamous GTA player, Ballies. Ballies was second in command of the Ballies Brethren. From here, we went to his social club profile, and his bio read, "I have all the points." It was him, the man we had been searching for after so long. The name and profile looking at us. For the team, it was a moment of accomplishment. We also found out from Ballies' social club profile that there was another crew for Ballies, with this one being named Ballies Force. This one had a much smaller crew size and consisted of 4 people, including Ballies. Maybe this crew was formed and consists of Ballies and his most trusted followers, but we were confused. How was there a social club account for Ballies, but no associated PlayStation or Xbox account? There had to be a PlayStation or Xbox account. That was when we saw it. What we had been missing this entire time. It was right in front of us this whole time. Ballies was banned on Xbox Live before the release of GTA 5, but he did still continue to ensure his prolific presence on GTA 5 Online survived under the same name. For his new account, he decided to still go by the same name, Ballies, this time being spelt B-A-L-L-L-E-S. Subsequently opting the I for another L to give the same impression that his name still reads Ballies. Ballies had still been active and continuing his work on GTA 5 Online, but it was surprising that there had been no records of him on the internet at all about this. From here we searched his name on Xbox Live with an L instead of an I and found his Xbox Live account. We finally found him, and that he still exists and is active on Xbox to this day. His bio reads, appearing offline 2023. Still got all the points. Still ballies, still being ballies after 11 years and using his infamous slogan. Could the infamous popularity of being ballies be too much for him? And this is why he is appearing offline. After finding his profile, after our tiring investigation, we knew we had to make contact with him. We were compelled to find out more about him directly and understand the mentality behind ballies. With him appearing offline, we never knew when he was going to be active or when would be the best time to contact him. So one day I put together a message that I was going to send to him. In this message I told Ballies that we had met over 10 years ago on GT4 online, that he was goading my friend and all of the other players in the session to go after him with his voice messages. I had told him that by doing all of this he had established a prolific presence, and I wondered if it would be possible to have a chat with him as part of our documentary on him to find out more about Ballies. We sent the message and waited. Over the months we waited for Ballies to get back to us, we continued to search a little bit more to see if we could find anything else. We found something very important that would change how I and many other people would view him on GTA. We simply came across a video on YouTube titled Rest in Peace Ballies, which only had 55 views and was from October 2011. The video on YouTube is footage of someone's screen which shows the log of activities in a GTA 4 free mode session. What this video showed us was that Ballies was finally killed by a player named State AU in GTA 4 online. Immediately after dying, Ballies left the game, never to be seen again. From our previous discussions with Rawdabs and Lucius, they claimed their friend and they killed Ballies, but we now have proof that Ballies did get killed on GT4 online. Ballies, a player who had claimed to have not been killed on GT4 online since March 2009, was confirmed to be killed in GT4 online during October 2011. Ballies, from this point, was no longer the best GTA player. So we continued to wait for Ballies to get back to us after sending him our message. We waited and continued to wait, and as expected, we did not get a response from him. We thought about sending him another message, but we didn't want to prod him just in case he would block our accounts, which would end our investigation completely at the final hurdle. 7 months had passed and our investigation for Ballies had concluded. Now, as a team, we didn't get the conclusion we had hoped for, which would have been finally speaking to Ballies and understanding whether or not this was a character all along, and finding out the reason why he did any of this stuff. Unfortunately, we will never get to know the answers to these questions, but we did along the way find out so much about this player through many different people who had encountered him 11 years ago. Everyone's story we had listened to experienced the same character. Ballies, a GTA4 online player who set out to be this character, who would goad other players in his free mode session through repulsive and abusive voice messages to challenge him in the apartment blocks of Northwood, Algonquin. A player who would wait patiently in the apartment blocks with an RPG, ready to eliminate whoever dared to challenge him. A player who claims he has never died on GTA4 since March 2009, but in fact did in October 2011. With our investigation over, we concluded that Ballies is the most infamous GTA player to date. What we do know is that he's still Ballies. He is still the same Ballies I and everyone else encountered 11 years ago. We know this because he finally responded to our message. Ballies responded to our message after 2 months of it being sent, by saying,
Right, you say Bailey points, but listen boy, we both know I've got all the points. I've gone nowhere, son. I'm retired from kicking your butts live on the Xbox. And contrary to what you might believe, it's not okay to give your mates handy shadies. I haven't lost since 2009, so if you fancy a challenge and you're done your granduncle off, get over it and I'll on all you and your bum buddies. We both know I can't be killed when I used to play GTA. Not one of you fairies
Hello,
got a
this is Morse Mutual Insurance. Okay.
Baldy's the most infamous GTA player to have ever existed, and a character who has had an impact on many different people who play GTA Online over the last decade. So that's everything. I will admit again that his behaviour and language that he used in his voice messages was disgusting and repulsive. However, don't harass him. Baldy's had a prolific presence on GTA Online that I don't think anyone else has ever had. Who knows, maybe Baldy's will come out of retirement when GT 6 finally releases, or maybe he won't and he is happy in retirement playing games such as The Division 2 or Hitman on Xbox. So to tie this all together, the GT Online community is one of the biggest in the gaming industry, and it has so many stories which have been experienced and told by many players, whether this be through machinimas, GTA RP, random free mode sessions, the list goes on. But I don't think anything comes close to the character Baldy's tortured himself to be and the cult following he has. Baldy's a player who wanted to have all the points.
People say that GTA 5 doesn't have a good story and its lore isn't interesting. They say this because they're wrong. It is insane the level of detail that exists in GTA 5's lore if you just dig a little bit below the surface. Most people though don't have 10,000 hours experience playing the single player version of GTA 5 like myself. Therefore for years people have been coming to me with their questions about the game, and I've kept the most interesting ones for this video. So today I'm going to answer all of your questions about Michael, his family, his deal with the FIB, his betrayal, and so on. I guarantee you by the end of this video, not only will you learn endless new things about Grand Theft Auto 5, you'll come to appreciate it more than you ever have before. How did Michael evolve in terms of family relations over the game? This is kind of a broad question, but in my opinion, I do think Michael always loved his family, but he never really, appreciated them. A big part of what changes this is both when his family leaves him, and then when Michael is forced to stay away from Los Santos to avoid Martin Madrazo, as he clearly comes to miss them.
Listen, if you get this, can you give me a ring? Tell your mom too, will ya? And Tracy. Please, son.
You're not making my situation any easier! Oh, there's a surprise! I knew it would become about you! I miss my family! Oh, you're full of shit! All you ever did was ignore them, and now that they're gone, you miss them! Fucking it!
I mean, I've lost everything that matters. I'm hanging with a maniac who's certain to kill me if the government doesn't do it first. I want my family back.
Earlier in the game, when Michael looked at his family, all he would see is their flaws and judge them for not being better people. And I think by the end of the game, Michael more comes to terms with the fact that he is fucked up, and so it's kind of understandable that his family is also fucked up.
Alright, you are just a lame and angry psycho sometimes. You do bad shit and things. I don't know if I love you, and I'm pretty sure I hate you a little bit, but I'm just so fucking upset that we can't even see each other. And you're just a drunk, lame dad.
That might just be the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me.
I think Trevor plays a big part in Michael accepting his own flaws, as he works to deflate Michael and remind him that he isn't actually better than the rest of them, as he likes to pretend.
Just because I like the life and you feel guilty about it doesn't make you more of a man than me.
That is so fucking typical. So typical.
Instantly think about yourself.
You're right. I did do that. Apologize. I mean, let's face it, Amanda, we're trailer trash.
He comes to see that he isn't somehow above the flaws of his family. They are all flawed, and they do care about each other. Honestly though, I think what most changed wasn't his relationship with his family, but Michael's own self-hatred and dissatisfaction with his life that he was blaming his family for.
Big house and a useless kid, and I'm stuck talking to you because no one else gives a shit. Oh, I'm living a dream, baby.
What do you want, Michael?
I don't know. I want something that isn't this.
So Michael eventually stops blaming his family for his own dissatisfaction with his life, in part because he finds more satisfaction with it, like when he starts working at the movie studio.
Feels like I've finally done something with my life.
A part of Michael's dissatisfaction also came from missing his criminal days, the one thing that he felt he was good at that he blamed his family for snatching him away from.
Oh man, we're back in action.
What happened to dying with a gun in your hand? Life happened. Annoying wife, 2 kids. Remember them? You get tied down, you can't move anymore.
But going through all his trials throughout the game reminds him that the old days were not as great as he remembers.
Oh, hey! I've been doing some thinking. I put my feet up and I reflected. My feet were literally up on a fucking meat hook. You know, I think that did more for my mental health than all these years of therapy combined. I mean, I know what I want now. What I want is I want my family back. I want to make something. I don't want nobody owning me. I'm paying the last of my debt stock, and I'm starting over again.
Also, now having Franklin in his life to constantly remind Michael how good he has it likely also helped.
Let's feel sorry for Michael. Rich, white Michael, poor Michael, who robbed banks for 10 years, then got his slate wiped clean.
Yeah.
Man, where's my get-out-of-jail-free card, motherfucker?
I'm sorry, okay?
So as Michael's experiences caused him to be a less bitter, ungrateful, judgmental person, it enabled him to have a better relationship with his family. To be clear, Michael still hates himself to some degree by the end of the game.
I know, I still hate myself. But hey, at least I know the words for it now.
He just doesn't hate his life as much and acknowledges his own flaws, so blames others less for where he ended up in life and accepts some culpability. What was the financial status of Michael before the jewel store heist? He was very clearly broke, but it's not immediately obvious to people why. For a start, we don't actually know how financially prepared Michael was to get out of the game and retire.
I made a deal. His name is Dave Norton, nice guy, realist. He gets the glory, I get out.
If it was Michael who first reached out to Dave to figure out a deal between them, you can assume Michael said, you know what, I've got enough money, I think I can quit. But if it was Dave who found Michael, leading to the deal, maybe Michael wasn't prepared. He's looking at his bank accounts like, I guess I've got enough to quit, maybe. As we don't know exactly how their deal came to be, we don't know how prepared Michael was for us. Regardless of the exact amount of money that Michael managed to steal throughout his heisting career, we do know that his savings amounted to many millions of dollars.
Who is this guy using my dead friend's tired-ass movie quotes? In a house that must have been paid for with my dead friend's stashed millions? I guess I'm happy you made it out alive, and with enough money to make sure your kids became total, complete nightmares.
Hey.
I mean, if you'd taken less, a couple million, they'd only be dicks. But with your savings, you were able to truly, completely ruin them.
But obviously, in the 9 years of Michael's retirement, he lost most, if not all of this money. At the end of marriage counseling, when Michael realizes that he needs to give $2.5 million to Martin Madrazo, he says to Franklin,
"Ah, man, I'm mortgaged up to my eyeballs."
When you switch to Michael at the beginning of the game, he can be sitting on a bench on the phone where he says,
"Hey, I'm good for the money. I always pay my dues. I'll make the account good next week. I promise."
So clearly there's someone hounding Michael for money at this point. One possible reason for this is day trading, which to simplify is like gambling with the stock market. Michael references that he's trying to stop doing it.
And I'm about to email you a link for the exchange. You can put in some trades of your own.
I'm trying to stay off the day trading.
I've seen your day trader account. Give it up. You pissed our savings down the toilet.
Our savings?
Yeah, our savings. I gave up everything to start this life with you, you selfish shit. Just please give me some warning before they repossess.
And Lester, at some point when he's asking Michael why he needs money, he inquires, what, you've been day trading again?
So, what do?
We walk away. It's not like we need the money.
About that.
You've been day trading?
No, God no.
My belief is that Michael, having spent so long running from the law, doing all these bank robberies, he was effectively addicted to the adrenaline.
You're plainly addicted to chaos.
Even though he had convinced himself that he wanted to settle down, he didn't take to it very well. He missed that excitement.
I want to be a good dad, but at the same time, I really want the other stuff too. I need to do something. Scotch and sunshine and sitting on my ass? Fuck that, I'm better than that.
Gambling, day trading, is another way of bringing up your adrenaline, having some excitement in your life even though you're sort of sedentary now. Are you going to lose a lot of money? Are you going to make a lot of money? Who knows? But day trading wasn't enough to put the excitement, the risk back in Michael's life. I suspect this is why he started to sleep with strippers. I mean, something dangerous. It might ruin your relationship with your wife, which of course it ended up doing.
I was faithful to you up until I found you in a stripper.
But this wasn't Michael's only issue, as he also had many expenses, like the 5 figures a month that he was paying to Dave as a part of their deal.
Most witnesses don't transfer 5-figure sums into a particular FIB agent's bank account every month.
While it's not explicitly stated how much that is, even if it was only 10 grand a month for 9 years, that's a lot of money. Michael, of course, was also living in a mansion in one of the most expensive parts of the world, and his family weren't exactly shy when it came to spending money.
We have earned ourselves a drink. I am exhausted.
Babies, the only thing that's worn out is my credit card.
I understand. Money is an issue, huh?
Money isn't an issue.
The only thing you gotta worry about anymore is what part of your body you want to have chopped off or sucked out again.
You used to be fatter. Nice new tits, by the way. Are those lips fake as well, or just the tits?
All these factors combined would quickly dry up many millions of dollars over the course of almost a decade. So basically, while Michael and his family may have started with a lot of money, likely enough to live the rest of their lives, they clearly didn't manage it well and so were in a bad financial situation. Did Michael only get involved into the FIB's plans because of the jewel store heist? I think it was the reporting on the jewel store heist that led Steve Haynes to notice details about the job as being similar to the jobs that the deceased Michael Townley used to do.
Anyone who knows your file, what is wrong with you?
And that did lead him to look through Dave Norton's files and realize that Dave and Michael had made a deal and Michael was still alive. So without that heist, maybe Steve wouldn't have realized immediately that Michael was alive. I don't think though that Michael getting involved in Dead Man Walking and looking for Mr. K's body was done at the direction of Steve. I think Dave needed some help and saw Michael as a person who could help. But of course, Dave wouldn't want the wider FIB to learn of Michael being alive, so maybe the only reason he thought to ask Michael at all is because they were already in contact again because of the jewel store heist.
I know you did that fucking jewelry job.
Davey, seriously, you're imagining things.
Fuck you.
In saying that, it wasn't really the jewel store heist itself that led to all this happening, and more Michael returning to a life of crime. And I'm of the belief that Michael would have returned eventually to a life of crime, even had he not pulled down Martin Madrazo's house. Michael was mortgaged up to his eyeballs, he had no money, he was sick of his life, he was bored, Franklin came into his life. All the variables saying, look man, you gotta go back to crime, you gotta go steal some money, were all there. And so if it wasn't the jewel store heist, it was gonna be something else. Eventually he would have returned to a life of crime, that would have been reported, Trevor would have heard about it, Dave would have gone, what is wrong with you? And everything would have gone out the same way. Why did Michael have to work for Steve Haynes? When Steve became Dave's new boss, it's implied that Steve went through Dave's files and found out that Michael is still alive.
Then I guess you getting involved with a clapped-out old agent who's been living off of past glories was your first mistake.
And he therefore, of course, found out about their secret deal, that Dave's promotion was based on a complete lie, that Dave didn't actually kill Michael.
I made your career.
And we better go about saving it together.
And having this knowledge, of course, he lorded this over Michael and Dave.
Davey, you can't do anything about this fucking turd?
Yeah, Dave. What can you do about it?
So is he gonna be a problem?
For sure. But there's nothing we can do about it. If something happened to him right now, I'd be right under a microscope. And that would make it very difficult to keep old secrets.
Oh, well, boo for you.
He's like, hey, do exactly what I say. I'm gonna spill the beans that Dave is a fraud, and you're still alive, and you'll of course go away forever. Which Dave did say would likely happen if what was in his files became well known.
Someone comes into my office, starts reading my files. I know a lot of stuff. I can cop a plea, get 5 years, but you...
Fuck you ungrateful prick.
So Michael was effectively working for Steve Haynes to guarantee his silence, but also to secure Dave's continued position at the FIB. Dave says, hey look, if I get fired, if I go down, then they're gonna go through my files and you're gonna go down as well. A part of what we do in the Mission the Bureau raid is delete the FIB files on both Trevor and Michael.
We do the job, and maybe you can delete the files when you're inside doing whatever else you're doing. That might be a way out.
But even after we delete those files, that still leaves the loose ends of Dave and Steve who know Michael is still alive. But during ending C, Michael does say that Dave has to be kept alive so no one else will screw with them.
Just gotta silence a few noisy people. Steve Haynes.
Dave Norton.
No, we need him alive. Why? So nobody fucks with us afterwards.
Mean that he can continue to be the corrupt government official protecting their little unit. But Steve, of course, had to be taken out because he couldn't be trusted.
Oh my God.
Why does Steve ambush Michael in the wrap-up? I mean, Steve explains it. The Bureau's onto him. They've realized that he's doing all this weird, shady shit.
They know or think they know that I'm the one that was behind the incident.
Well, the Bureau was already onto Steve Haynes. The incident he's referring to here is the Bureau raid, which we did specifically for him to delete evidence.
There's some, evidence, and I need you guys to find out what they know.
We are not told specifically for what reason they suspect Steve was involved though. And so now Steve sees Michael as a liability. Michael knows a lot of stuff about Steve's shady dealings, and if Michael was taken by any agency, Mike would be looking at life in prison, if not the death penalty.
I will go to jail and you will get shot.
Ah, fuck you, Dave.
Obviously, in such a scenario, it would make sense for Michael to be like, hey yo, this Steve Haynes guy, he's done a lot of shady shit. I was involved, but he forced me to do it. He's a real bad dude. Let me tell you about it.
I've even got some fools in our own bureau that are questioning my methods. Think I'm a liar, a cheater, some kind of a killer and a thief.
Which would of course sink Steve's career, something he cares a lot about, and would likely see him in jail as well. So basically, as far as Steve was concerned, Michael had moved from being an asset to being a liability.
Agent Sanchez, arrest these men, both of them.
Steve,
Oh, whoa! Arrest me for what? Because you don't want me to testify in court about our various business dealings, right?
And therefore wanted him taken care of in some way. Dave, of course, does defend Michael from Steve.
We agreed to speak to Michael, to try and explain things to him, not this.
It's hard to say how much of that is the begrudging friendship that they have, and how much of it is Dave just trying to save his own neck. Because obviously if Michael was formally taken in by the Bureau, people would realize that he was still alive, go, hey Dave, isn't this the guy that you killed? And whose death kind of made your career? Like, we promoted you for killing this guy. Why is this guy still alive? It would then of course all come out that Dave and Michael had that corrupt deal, and at best Dave would be fired, at worst he would end up in jail. Okay, so why did Michael trust Franklin, a kid who did repo to rob a jewelry store? I mean, obviously they do things between the Mission Complications and the jewel store job. On the Mission Complications, Michael does compliment Franklin's willingness to just follow orders and not take responsibility.
I appreciate a kid who follows orders without taking responsibility. Yeah, maybe one day we'll have a beer, and I'll explain how the world really works.
He'd obviously be impressed somewhat Franklin's willingness to drive through the glass. Whether or not Michael was really serious about getting a drink with Franklin and explaining how the world works, the whole thing with Complications just shows that Michael was bored. His life wasn't exciting. Of course, his old life was dangerous, but at least there was some excitement. He was doing things.
Oh man, I'm fucking excellent. My heart ain't pumped like that in years. Oh, yes, fucking A, Bubba. Man.
All the lashing out we see Michael do at the beginning of the game is to indicate that Michael is like in a cage, screaming, let me out, I'm sick of this. So when Franklin goes to Michael's house to get their drink, whether or not Michael is actually serious, and they have a bit of a conversation, Michael's like, fuck it, let's go for a drink. It's not like he had anything better to do.
I'm going for a drink.
Dad, I'm in our boat going down the Western Highway. It's been stolen.
What? The yacht's been stolen?
It was then the phone call from Jimmy that gave Franklin another opportunity to prove himself. I mean, he jumped from a car on a freeway onto a boat. Obviously, that's going to impress Michael. Not just that he could physically do that, but that he was willing to do that for Michael.
You listen to me, you little shit. That kid just jumped off